So this is a video debunking this whole sovereign citizen argument thing, because that's the label that I see that I keep having to debunk the most, because I don't understand. I can't say I don't understand. I do understand. I understand why y'all keep coming at me talking about sovereign citizen argument this, sovereign citizen argument that. Y'all gotta realize the key word of what y'all saying is the word argument. What do sovereign citizens make? Arguments. What do lawyers make? Arguments. The problem with arguments is that in contract law, which are these corporate fiction, was not trying to tell you that transportation was. Transportation is a contract. The contract comes before commerce. So if transportation is commerce between foreign nations, then there has to be a contract before there could be commerce between foreign nations. No contract, no commerce. No title, no offer and acceptance, no contract, no commerce. It's as simple as that. I don't make arguments. In contract law, you have honor and dishonor. Honor is full acceptance and conditional acceptance. Dishonor is arguing and remaining silent. So, if the lawyers make arguments, then the lawyers are in dishonor. If the sovereign citizen makes arguments, the sovereign citizen is dishonor. If the U.S. citizen makes arguments, the U.S. citizen is in dishonor. The United States operates in commercial dishonor, which means that everybody makes arguments. Because everybody makes arguments, then these arguments need to go in front of a neutral third party. The problem is that when you make arguments and you go into court, the court has two types of capacities: ministerial capacity and a judicial capacity. When two people make arguments, the court is in the judicial capacity. The court is in the judicial capacity because they can't handle it without a third party. So the third party has to choose based on the evidence. Now, if a sovereign citizen is going against the state, the federal government, if a sovereign citizen goes in there with arguments, the lawyers want to go in there with arguments. So now the court's in the judicial capacity. The court's in the judicial capacity, guess what? The court is going to go with the state every time. It doesn't make sense to go with a sovereign citizen argument that anybody can make, no matter how true it is. It's argument versus argument. The judge is clearly not going to choose a sovereign citizen because they need us to pay money for their bills. That's what we're doing. So, instead, you put the court in a ministerial capacity. The only way to put a court in a ministerial capacity is to invoke due process. So, when I don't title my car is in Maryland because there's no contract that puts my car in the state of Maryland. That contract is an application for a title or application for a job, which you can't even get. You can't get a job in the state of Maryland without tags of the title. So my car stays out of United States jurisdiction, which means that my car can't engage in transportation, that I don't have to file the transportation code. The rule of the road applies to people who have tags on their car, who have their car titled, because they use their car to make money. Because they use their car to make money, they have to follow the rules of the road. I don't have to follow the rules on the road. If I want to drive on the wrong side of the street, I can. If I want to run a red light, I can. There's no crime, no harm, no foul. Crime is personal or property damage. The signs are there to guide, to make the flow of traffic smoother. That's it. It's a choice whether if I want to obey it or not. As long as I don't hit nobody, as long as I don't cause no damage. If I want to run 100 red lights, if I want to ride down the street doing 200 miles per hour, as long as I ain't hit nobody, no property damage, no personal damage, I can do whatever I want. We could do whatever we want. The rules of the road are simply to make the flow of traffic smoother, but they only have to be followed by people engaged in transportation. Because by being engaged in transportation, you have to follow the transportation code. By my car not being titled, I don't have to follow the transportation code. Plain and simple. So when I ask for proof that I'm engaged in transportation, it invokes due process. Notice the opportunity. I've given him notice I'm not engaged in transportation. He has to provide an opportunity, provide an affidavit saying I am engaged in transportation. The officer has to have that proof before he could even turn the light on. If it's not no personal property damage and there's nothing, I'm just riding down the street and I get pulled over. Y'all don't realize this. Y'all see that people make arguments in the court. And yeah, they're going to lose. It's just common sense. If I'm not going to mess my money up, that's how the state's thinking. Yeah, the man, yeah, the sovereign citizen, right. But he making an argument. A lawyer making an argument. Me and the lawyer know, like, yo, why would I mess the money up? I'm going to go with the lawyer. But if the sovereign citizen knew about contract law and was able to conditionally accept everything, the whole way to stay in honor is to conditionally accept everything. The beautiful part about the United States being in dishonor is that even though it's constant injury to the representatives, you get the win before you even go to court. That's the whole point of exhausting administrative remedies and asking for proof of claim. You get a win before you even go to court. That's the whole point of not giving an affidavit. It's called a court of record. When I send paperwork, I'm in a court of record. It's a foreign court. I get a court win before I even go into court. By the time I go into a state or federal court, I'm only there to get whatever I got recognized. I get my facts and my evidence recognized. Once I get it recognized, I get it enforced. And once y'all don't send me the affidavit in a certain time, if you do send me an affidavit, it's over. But since you're not going to do it, you're going to send something that's not in the affidavit form. That's a direct attack. Because I'm foreign to the United States. And in this case, I'm foreign to the state of Maryland. So once I send that affidavit, if you don't respond or respond without an affidavit, that's a direct attack. That's in Maryland. If I'm in Maryland, the other person's in Maryland. If I'm in the state of Maryland, the other person's in the state of Maryland. So my jurisdiction decides whatever jurisdiction they're in. After that, once it goes to court, the court's in a ministerial capacity. That means it does what the paper says. That means it got to give me the win. Only reason why people respond is when I say it's about opening and closing accounts. If I put in the lawsuit, it's open. Once they put in the motion to dismiss, it's closed. So you conditionally accept I stay in honor. Once I stay in honor, it opens. You can make 100 arguments. You have to realize, Artie's corporate fiction or any lawyer can make 100 arguments. Ask them for an affidavit. That's the truth. You're not going to allow an affidavit. They'll never send an affidavit. And y'all too busy worried about his arguments. Like I said, I don't make arguments. Why? I don't win in court by making arguments. Even if I'm right, I don't win in court by making arguments. I ask for proof of claim, wait for an affidavit. They're not going to give me one. Go into court showing that I asked for the affidavit. They didn't give me one. If they want to respond, say, oh, these papers are not real or it's not valid, ask them for an affidavit. They're not going to send one. So now, if you keep asking for an affidavit by conditional acceptance, you stay in honor. Let them keep dishonoring. That's treason. Using state or federal law to wage war against common law and the Constitution. Every time they violate due process and equal protection, that's a violation of the oath. So that's treason. That's war. That's war against the common law. I'm in Maryland. That means the state of Maryland is waging war against me. And y'all talking about, oh, you keep saying if you kill an officer, war is war. You gotta realize the state of Maryland is ran by the Vatican, the Federal Reserve. You don't know who owns the Federal Reserve. If you do, you realize this is a war. Even if I already won, it's still a war. But I don't make arguments. And the sad part is the people that are sovereign citizens, they right. They just don't know how to they don't know the right procedure. I guarantee you, that person that you call a sovereign citizen, if they knew the procedure, you'd be looking at them like, I can't believe I even paid to get my car titled in the first place. But like I said, all my paperwork is in the ministerial capacity, puts the courts in the ministerial capacity. They gotta choose me. That's how I know I'm gonna win my case. And I'm gonna beat every case like that. But Artie's corporate fiction is never gonna tell you that. So if you wanna listen to him, he's deceiving you. He probably deserves to be deceived. If you can't see that this is common sense that I just said, then whatever at this point. But like I said, can't nobody prove me wrong. I don't make arguments. Arguments is for dishonorable people. I stand on her. Prove me wrong. Especially in the affidavit. If you're not sending me an affidavit, I ain't trying to hear enough you guys say. Prove me wrong.